Have y'all ever had mushrooms and grits? Well, all these ingredients are basically available at the Ottawa Farmers Market. We got Rivers Ridge mushrooms, red clay, white grits, Lucky Cajun, Lucky Lemon Dilly Pepper. So here's our kit for the mushroom and grits. First, we're going to start with some white stone ground grits. We got milk to cook that in right here, and then we're going to use a little sea salt for that. It's really simple. We're just looking for something super creamy. So when we add the flavor of the mushrooms, you got this nice contrast. We got a little butter. We're going to finish it with a little butter as well. We've got a little butter for the mushrooms. We got 4 ounces of blue oysters, a little garlic, some Lucky Lemon Dilly Pepper, some chicken stock we're going to finish. You can use vegetable stock. And then a little splash of vinegar to kind of brighten everything up. And that's it. It's super simple, straightforward, delicious dish that anyone can prepare. So with these mushrooms, you really don't even have to cut them up. You just kind of pull them apart, you know? This gives these nice kind of long pieces, just like so. Now, if you can use any kind of mushroom, but these are nice, fresh oyster mushrooms from River Ridge Farms. Just go like that. And if you got like a little bundle like this, you could just kind of just break them off in there, you know, a little bit, a couple pieces here and there, just one at a time. Don't fuss. It's not about fussing. This is about, maybe that's a little big, you know, you just don't want like too big because you want them all to kind of cook at the same time. Just gonna smash our garlic up. Once again, I use this in almost every dish that I ever make. Alliums make them in there. That's just the way it goes. Garlic should never come from a jar. Ever. Ever. Unless you're using black garlic. Then that's okay. It can come from a jar because, you know, you gotta put them in something. Just chop them up. Don't get too fussy about it. Alright, so we got our milk simmering. We're going to turn it up at this touch. I'm going to add a few pinches of salt in here. And because the grits need a little salt. A little sea salt, not much. Just a little. Make sure everything's coming together. So we got our milk simmering away. And then we're going to slowly pour in a cup of grits. So this is 4 cups of milk simmering. 1 cup of grits. And the reason why we use this is that way we can scrape the bottom so we don't get stuck on there. Because what happens is when you're cooking the grits, because these take a while to cook. These aren't instant grits. You don't just stick these in the microwave and like, oh, pop them out. You got to stir these over the course of like, you know, 30, 40, 50 minutes. And you may have to add a little more milk or liquid to them. But this way you use this nice flat bottom wooden spoon, and then you can kind of scrape the bottom if they start sticking. Because if it starts sticking and it gets too thick, that's when you get a problem with burnt grits. And then your whole process is ruined and they don't taste good and it's just a mess. So keep stirring your grits. Just constantly stir. Alright, so see how the grits have gotten real creamy? We have creamed it up nice and smooth. Now, depending on how you like the texture of your actual corn in here, you know, you could cook it a little longer to make them really soft, but I like to have a little bit of texture, not like crunch, but just like chew. So we got a little chew in here. We're going to throw in that little pat of butter, that little knob of butter. I'm going to stir it in. All right, so we got a little pan going. You could use like a deeper like saute pan, but this is what I have up here right now. So if you're going to do a lot more mushrooms in one portion, you'd want to use something that's wider and shallower. So we're going to throw our butter in there. We're going to turn the heat up just a hair. So here, our butter is sizzling up nicely. Make sure it's nice and warm in there. We're going to add our mushrooms in. And we're going to add our garlic in. This is a couple of cloves of garlic. And then we're going to start to saute. We're going to add about a teaspoon of Lucky Lemon Dilly Pepper. There we go. maybe a little teaspoon and a half. Okay. All right, now we're gonna add a couple spoonfuls of our reduced chicken stock, and this is gonna kind of make like a nice little sauce. A little bit of vinegar, a little bit of white wine vinegar. Good white wine vinegar, not like the stuff you use to clean your windows. Nice thick mushroom sauce to go right on top of our creamy grits. So that way we kind of got that nice contrast, a nice earthy contrast, a little bit of meatiness from the stock, and a little tart vinegar bite, you know, just kind of a little punch. And our nice creamy grits, man, it's going to be wonderful. We're going to make sure that butter is nice and stirred in, because you don't want it to be, want to make sure every little bite has some nice buttery, creamy goodness. And then here's our little bowl. We're going to, let me just use that. Let's use that. Some little creamy grits. We don't have to go crazy with this. You know, you don't want to be runny, but you don't want it to be so stiff that they're like hard. You know, I think this is the right texture. Like, it's porridgey, it stands up on its own, but it's not firm. And with these, we got little mushrooms here. We're gonna scrape all the sauce down. We're just gonna put those right in the middle and kind of let the sauce go as it will around the side. So here it is. Just the rest of it in there because it's good. So there it is. It's kind of like our Ottawa Farmers Market grits and oyster mushrooms with Lucky Lemon Dilly Pepper seasoning from Lucky Cajun. And it is amazing. This is going to be so good. You're going to love it.